Hi, this is Anthony Spencer. Um, the following spotlight is the second in our ministry series of my wife suggested a few weeks ago that at least once a month we spotlight one of the ministries at Victorious Living Faith. This is our second in that series, our first being our free singles ministry. This one is our Ushers, and today I had the pleasure of sitting down with Jenny Amos and a couple more members of our Ushers. This is the second time that I actually did it face to face with my guests. This is going to be different because I forgot my main camera when I went to do the interview, and I had to shoot it with my phone, my Samsung phone. But I think that the pictures came out good. The only thing is that you won't see much of me in the interview, but you will hear me. So the following spotlight is our spotlight on the Victorious Living Faith Ministry Ushers. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, and welcome to the Spotlight. We're shooting on location at the church, so if you see some people in the background, you hear some noises, that's because we're holding some other things at the church, and Lady J and Pastor Phil are here too. For this edition of the Spotlight, and I'm out of breath, for this edition of the Spotlight, we're interviewing the Ushers. This is part of our ministry series. This is the second in our ministry series. So I have four members of the Usher board, Usher ministry here. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Jennifer Amos.
I'm Victoria Morris.
I'm Kimberly Carter.
Jerry Edwards.
Okay, here we go. So we're going to make this quick, fast, and really good. We hope that you find it interesting. I have a couple questions for them. They'll probably have some for me as well. So again, excuse me for being out of breath. All right, how is everyone today?
Good.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to ask you some questions. Anyone can answer. Just be respectful and don't talk over each other. But we hope to have this out soon. So, some of you have been ushers for a while. So my first question is, what drew you to serving on the usher ministry?
What drew me to serving on the Usher ministry is that I'm a nurse, 41 years of nursing experience, and I like to help others. And part of the Usher ministry is that we are assisting the congregation with seating and assisting people who need help during the service, passing out programs, and I just like helping people.
Okay, anyone else?
Same here. What drew me to ushering this, just because you can meet people, and you are the first face that you see at the door. So as they come in, you greet them, and then you maybe send them to their seat. And I just like in general meeting people.
Okay. Kim?
What drew me was because I've been in the health field all my life until retirement, and I had a willingness to serve and help.
Okay, good. Jerry?
What drew me into it was a long time ago when I was like 20 years old, when I was doing Miss Jane the Camper got me started. And I was scared to death when I first started, but then I liked it, because you got to serve other people and everything like that. So that's how I first got started. And I'm back going in again after a couple years of not.
Okay. So some of you have mentioned that you've been ushering for a while, and Jerry touched on how you got into it. Basically, Jenny and Victoria told their views on it. So this is going to be a broad sort of question. It may cause you to think a little bit. But what impact do you feel the usher ministry has on the overall ministry? Because we know that the ushers are I had to do a little research, and I'm going to bring up a little research in a few minutes on just how it started and some things I didn't know about ushering. but the ushers are at the door. They're there to welcome and bring people into the church and seat them and such. But I found a little bit more about what ushering is. So again, what impact do you feel that the usher ministry has on the overall ministry?
Well, the ushers are the first ambassador of the church, and the overall ministry is assisting others. And every aspect of the service, when they first come in, greeting them, you learn how to interact with people, passing out programs, and I guess everything I'm saying interrelates and overlaps.
Okay.
I think that we are here also to assist the pastors. And if any issues arrive in the church during the service, we will be able to handle them, assist the person if they need help or anything.
Okay.
Keep order of the service, no, like when people not walk around when the pastor's praying or when they're doing the scripture, and basically also to keep order smoothly of what the service going on.
Okay. You good, Kim?
I agree with everything.
All right. Tell you, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay. So, I've been around for a while. I've served in Apostolic, Baptist, AME, and now non-denomination. But I never looked up what is a church usher. And there has been a description of a church usher. And then instead of asking you what it is, I'll tell you what I found by the National United Church Ushers Association of America. That I didn't know existed. All right. The ministry of church ushering is a sacred and powerful responsibility. A church usher helps the pastor by making sure all members and guests are greeted warmly, and in doing so, what is necessary to put the guests in the right frame of mind. Church ushers must possess a spirit of meekness and humility, and must be well trained in all aspects of the church techniques of church ushering in order to master the situations that may arise during church service. Now, this is the definition of a association of church ushers that apparently got together, and they apparently hold classes and give degrees and such. So, with that being said, and with it being said, it is a sacred and powerful responsibility. How does it make you feel to be a part of such a prestigious ministry?
It makes me feel great because when you stand at the door and someone comes through the door, you don't know what they're going through. Your smile and kindness make their day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kim?
I'm a veteran usher, but when I was ushering, it was very rewarding. Yeah,
That's what I wanted to hear.
very rewarding.
I'm going to ask you a little bit, add a little bit on that. Victoria or Jerry?
I once had a boss that said that when you answer the phone, you're supposed to smile. And when you smile, the person on the other end can feel it. When, as Jenny said, just to touch on, when you first greet a member and they see your smile, it helps them as far as what they're dealing with. And it makes them feel warm. When someone smiles at you, it makes you feel warm inside. So an usher, one of the major functions of an usher is to greet people.
Okay. Jerry, you have something?
That's about what they said. Just show them love and everything like that. Like they might come in with something on their shoulder or something like that. So.
Okay. So, and doing my research last night, I found something a little interesting, and it was part of this National United Church Ushers Association. I see this is probably up for conversation, not so much dispute. But my question is, does anyone know who was the first usher?
I don't.
No.
Okay, so their description is that God was the first usher.
Okay, that makes sense.
They said that in Genesis 1, 3, and 4, He ushered in the day and the light.
Oh,
An
yeah.
usher is a doorkeeper. They bring things about. So they're saying that God is the first usher. He ushered in the day and the light. And later in Genesis in 2:15, God ushered man into the Garden of Eden. So
Okay.
that was a
That's
surprise
good to
to
know.
me.
Good to know.
Also, it says that ushers and forerunners are depicted throughout the Bible. Abraham ushered faithfulness into the world in Genesis 22. Moses ushered the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt and into the promised land. The Star of David ushered the wise men to the east in the place where Christ was born, and John the Baptist, the forerunner of Christ, prepared the way. He was the voice crying in the wilderness, John 1:6-13.
Okay.
So again, as I'm doing these spotlights and I'm getting into them, I'm not sure of sometimes what I am getting into until I get into them. All right, so Kim has said she's been a veteran usher. Jenny is running the usher board. So when someone comes to you, what does it take to be an usher?
Your willingness to learn, your willingness to help people,
Willingness to serve.
and willingness to serve, yes.
Patience. Gotta have patience too, no.
Okay.
Kindness.
Yes. You have to be kind. You have to have a willing spirit. And you have to understand the role of an usher, duties and responsibilities. You have to be able to work part of a team, because you are a team.
Okay. All right. So we've talked about ushering. We talked about what it takes to be an usher and coming on. So as you are being an usher, you're meek, you're humble, you assist. But what truly makes you happy to be an usher? And this is for everybody. I want everybody to give me an answer for that. What makes you happy to be, or does ushering make you happy? Let's go that one first. Does ushering make you happy?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Definitely.
ushering
Yep.
do make me happy, and what makes me even happier is to see the smiles on the congregation's face, knowing that they're getting the word and being able to help the church service as it go along.
Okay. Victoria, what makes you happy to be an usher?
I'm a jovial person, and I'm a people person, and I love working with people. I enjoy my congregation. I enjoy church. Church, to me, is a big part of my life. And being an usher also is, I guess it's tacked on to what I did for a living so long, helping others, being a trusted servant of God. And it just makes you feel good when you are helping others. It makes me happy to know I'm helping others.
Okay. Kim?
I was happy being an usher. I still support the ushers. I was very happy to be helpful to everyone. Like I said, it was rewarding for me. And just to assist with everyone, especially first-time guests and other worshipers, to have a great experience.
And I was waiting on the first time guests, so
Yes.
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yes.
Because first time guests, that's usually the usher, with the exception of our security ministry.
Yes.
But the security ministry is just going to sit there, but the usher is actually going to greet and bring them in, so I'm glad that you
Yes.
brought that up. So Jerry, what makes you happy to be usher?
Happy to be an usher because it's serving God, and also I like it when we have other people that may be interested in joining the usher board. We may talk to them or ask them. 'Cause we had a couple that came on the board since recently, and to me that's like a blessing there. It helps build us, to help greet other people, to make them feel good when they come to church.
All right. So Jerry, you just opened the way for the last question, so you guys can relax and take a deep breath. The last question is sort of what Jerry was saying, and I'd like each one of you to speak to that. So, someone's in the congregation, whether they're existing or new, they come to you. What do you say to a potential usher? And when they come to you and say, I think I want to usher, what would you say to them? And everybody can answer. I'll start with Jenny.
I would say, why would you want to usher? That's the first thing I would say to them. And they say, because they're a people person. And I say, what do you see in the ushers what do you like about ushering? That's what I'll ask them.
Okay, and that's a good question because we've seen it before where somebody thinks they want to be a part of a ministry or to do something, and then they get a hold to it and they find out it wasn't that way. I've had that with multimedia. Somebody say they want to be a part of it, but then they see the work that we do, which is not hard, but it's not up there. It's not in their swim lane. So, all right. So, Victoria, what would you say to a potential usher?
I would say, great, we would love to have you. And maybe after service, we can talk about what we do in the usher ministry.
Okay. Veteran?
The first thing I would ask is, are you going to be committed? Because it is a commitment.
Good answer.
It's teamwork. And when you get into ushering outside of the church, like with the Baltimore unit, the school, the national unit that you mentioned, you have to also go to other churches, and usher will be their host for their annual days. So it does involve a lot. You need to, one of the big things is preparation. So you need to be able to arrive early, at least, I would say, a half an hour. And just be committed for when you're scheduled to usher.
Okay. Jerry, you kind of boarded up in the last one, so you're ending up that question.
Oh, that's not the question. All right. Well, yeah, like I said before, somebody asked me or something like that, or I might ask them, would you make me be asked an usher? Or if they say that they would be usher, I ask them too, you sure there's something you want to do? Because, there's a lot of standing for one, sometimes. And, just greet, welcome people in, and then you gotta, don't be scared, because when I first started ushering, I was scared to death. And, learn how to do the marching and everything like that. And, just greet people.
Okay.
And with a happy face and wish them well.
All right.
Serve the Lord.
So, I don't know. I'm working at the soundboard most of the time. How many ushers do we have now? Both
13.
Both senior and junior.
Right.
15.
13, that's senior and junior?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the junior ushers, how many is that?
We only have one now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other ones couldn't commit.
It wasn't that
Fulfill the
bad.
commitment.
It
So
wasn't that
that
bad.
goes with and I guess it's the same thing for any ministry. If you're not ready to commit, then that's not going to do it.
Also, the ushers follow the pastor. When the pastor goes to other churches, the ushers go with him.
Yes, they
Yep.
do.
Yeah. So I've seen on occasions with the church we used to be at, where we have gone to other churches and provided our ushering services for whatever reasons, whether they didn't have their own or they didn't have a lot of their own. I do remember going to Reverend Candace's church and doing that. So it is apparent that it doesn't just it's not restrictive just to your own church building, because we say the church is the people, so it's not restrictive to your own church building.
Yes.
That you can take this out, and I think it's probably a little bit of a pleasure or honor to when another church asks you to come in and be their
Yes,
ushering.
it is.
Yes.
like I said, I've served in several churches throughout my life, and I've seen one of my friends, John Young, God bless his soul. I mean, when he had his men marching, they could cut a piece of paper when they hit that corner. So,
Oh, yeah.
so I see you guys when you march down the aisle. That's when multimedia goes back to you. So again, I thank you all for coming on this version of the Spotlight. It is the second in the ministry series, and we'll be getting into some more of that. So, Jenny, and I was going to say, in closing, did anybody want to say anything? Is that where you're going?
Yes.
Okay, so
Our
go
first
ahead.
anniversary is April the 14th. And we would like you here at 8:45. You are welcome. Please join us.
That's good. All right.
Amen.
Anybody else in closing?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So, yes, the Usher anniversary will be on the 14th, where our guest speaker will be Tia Parker,
Tia Parker.
Minister Tia Parker. So we're asking everyone to come and worship with us. Service starts at 8:45. Praise and worship starts at 8:45. The service starts promptly at 9 with praise and worship in full as our choir takes the stand. So this is Anthony Spencer and the Usher Board of Victorious Living Faith Ministries signing off. I thank everybody for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
So that was the Usher Ministry of Victorious Living Faith Ministries. Now it's time for a shameless plug. We are located at 435 Maryland Avenue. You don't have to wait for our Usher ministry to show up, but it would be good if you did show up on that day, which is April the 14th. But 435 Maryland Avenue in Essex, Maryland, all are invited and all are welcome. As the group said, they're 13 strong now, but if you wish to become an usher, please introduce yourself to Jenny or any of the other ushers. Let them know your willingness to work. But like they said, you must be committed. Just me doing the spotlights, I spend hours down here almost every evening. I won't say every evening because I try to force myself to take a break. But I am committed to Victorious Living Faith Ministries. I'm committed to growing the VLF Nation YouTube channel. So if you want to be a part of something special, come on over to 435 Maryland Avenue if you're not already there. And if you are there, join one of the ministries. It'll be worth your while. So this is Anthony Spencer signing off for the second of our ministry series on the Ushers. I thank you for being here. I guess I'll see you Sunday. Take care.